Welcome back, everyone. We're diving deep into Thailand's real estate scene today.
Oh, interesting.
It's been, kind of sluggish.
Right.
But the government there is trying to shake things up with these new stimulus measures.
Okay.
So we're going to unpack these policies,
Yeah.
see what kind of impact they could have, especially for, everyday Thais.
That's good.
Just to give you a little preview, we're talking about transfer fees being slashed,
Wow.
like almost to nothing.
Seriously.
Yeah, and the government's even projecting a GDP boost from all of this.
That's ambitious.
It is. I mean, when you think about it,
Yeah.
Thailand's real estate sector is a big deal, right?
Huge. It can contribute up to 10% of their entire GDP.
10%.
Yeah. So when their property market struggles, everyone feels it.
It makes sense that they're trying to, jumpstart things.
Absolutely.
And from what I'm seeing in these articles from Ocean Worldwide Phuket Real Estate and the Bangkok Post, the government isn't just throwing money around.
Okay.
They seem to have, a plan.
Yeah. What's the approach?
Well, the Deputy Prime Minister, who also happens to be the Minister of Finance.
Oh, wow. Double duty.
Right. He's proposed this stimulus package.
Okay.
A big one, 55 billion baht.
55 billion.
Yeah, but here's the interesting part.
Okay.
It's not just for anyone. It's focused on helping low-income citizens.
So affordable housing initiatives.
Exactly. They want to make it easier for these folks to repair or even build new homes.
Smart. So it helps people directly and boosts the construction industry.
Two birds, one stone. Right.
Exactly.
And it seems like they've already been trying to help the market,
Oh, yeah.
with programs like the Happy Home Loan and the Happy Life Loan.
Never heard of those.
They've pumped 38 billion baht into the system already.
Wow. So they're serious about this.
They are. But tell me more about these new measures.
Okay. So here's where it gets exciting.
Lay it on me.
They're cutting those crazy fees that come with buying a home.
Fees, like what?
Like transfer fees.
Right.
Imagine paying just 0.01% instead of 2%.
Whoa.
That's a massive difference.
That is huge. But I'm guessing there's got to be some fine print, right?
Well, yeah.
This isn't for those fancy beachfront villas, is it?
Haha. No.
Yeah.
The cuts apply to properties under 7 million baht.
Okay, so not exactly, pocket change.
Right. But still a good price point and way better than the old limit of 3 million.
True.
Plus, mortgage registration fees are also down to 0.01%.
So basically, they're making it a lot cheaper to buy a home.
Exactly. Especially for first-time buyers.
Smart move.
And there's more. Tax deductions for people building their own homes.
Oh, tell me more.
If you hire a registered contractor, you can deduct those expenses from your taxes.
They really are going all out, huh?
It seems like it.
But, the big question is, will it actually work?
Well, there's definitely some optimism out there.
Yeah.
Tiraton Teniz de Sun Torn.
Who's that?
He's the chairman of the Housing and Condominium Expo.
Ah, the Expo, right?
Yeah, he thinks these new measures, combined with recent interest rate cuts by the Bank of Thailand, should help boost confidence.
Confidence is key.
Absolutely.
Speaking of the Expo,
Yeah.
Tell me more about that.
It's going to be massive. Happening from October 31st to November 3rd.
Okay.
Over 150 exhibitors, showcasing over 1,000 projects.
Wow, that's a lot of projects.
Right. And banks will be there offering special interest rates.
Ooh, that's good.
They're even projecting 20 billion baht in economic activity from the Expo alone.
20 billion just
Yeah.
from the Expo.
Yeah. It's a good sign that people are interested again.
That's a pretty big deal.
It is.
But, okay, let's zoom out for a second.
Okay.
How much of an impact are these measures really expected to have on the overall Thai economy?
Well, the government's projecting a potential GDP boost of 1.7 to 1.8 percentage points.
Well, that's significant.
Right. They estimate about 800 billion baht in property transactions and potentially 400 to 500 billion baht in new investments.
So it's not just about selling existing homes, it's about stimulating new construction, too.
Exactly. The whole point is to get the money flowing again.
I see, but hold on. How do tax breaks lead to more spending? I'm not an economist. Help me out here.
Sure. Think about it this way. When people have more money because of lower fees or tax deductions, they're more likely to spend it, right?
Makes sense.
And that spending helps businesses, creates jobs.
So it's a chain reaction.
Exactly. The government believes these tax breaks will lead to about 120 billion baht being injected back into the economy.
So there's a ripple effect from individual buyers to the entire economy.
Exactly.
Okay, that makes sense.
Good.
But is this just a temporary fix, or could these measures actually have a long-term impact?
Now, that's a great question,
Right.
and one that we should definitely explore.
Okay, so tease me a little.
Well, Katsara Thanyeluk Park.
Oh, is that?
He's the managing director of Sena Development.
Okay.
They're a big player in the Thai real estate market.
All right, so what does he think?
He believes these measures could have some significant long-term benefits.
Ooh, long-term benefits.
Yes. Not just for the sector itself, but for the overall economy.
I like the sound of that.
And it's not just about, big companies.
Yeah.
It's about creating a more stable and sustainable real estate market.
Yeah.
One that benefits homeowners and potential buyers in the long run.
And now we're talking. This is getting really interesting.
It is.
But, we'll have to dig a little deeper into those long-term benefits
It will.
and see what they might actually mean for, you and me.
Exactly.
But don't worry, listeners. We'll be back in just a moment to unpack all of that.
We will.
But stay tuned.
Don't go anywhere.
All right, so we were talking about how Thailand is trying to get their real estate market back on track with all these loans and, slashing those fees.
Yeah.
Even a big expo.
Mm-hmm.
But what about, the long-term,
The long game.
Yeah, what could these changes mean for Thailand's real estate years down the line?
Well, one thing that keeps coming up is stability.
Sure.
Right now, the Thai real estate market, it tends to be a little sensitive.
Sensitive?
Yeah, to economic ups and downs.
I see.
But these new measures, by encouraging more people to buy and build, it could help create a wider, more solid base of demand.
That makes sense. So a more stable market is good for everyone, right?
Exactly. Less volatility,
Yeah.
fewer of those dramatic price swings.
Right.
And just more confidence overall.
For both buyers and sellers.
Exactly.
So stability, good.
Good.
What else?
Well, that stability could lead to another benefit.
Okay.
Sustainability.
Ooh, sustainability.
By making home ownership more attainable.
Mm-hmm.
Especially for, those who might have struggled before.
Lower income folks.
Exactly. You're not just giving the economy a quick boost.
Right.
You're potentially laying the groundwork for a more equitable and sustainable housing market.
Long term.
Yeah, in the long run.
Okay, so this is where it gets really interesting for me.
Yeah.
And I bet for our listeners, too.
Yeah.
How does all of this connect back to the average person in Thailand?
Mm-hmm.
Let's say you're someone who, dreams of buying their first home.
Okay.
Or maybe you're thinking about, upgrading to a bigger place.
Yeah.
How could these changes impact you?
Well, it's all about the ripple effect.
Okay.
If more people are buying homes,
Mm-hmm.
that means more construction projects.
Right. More houses need to be built.
More jobs for construction workers, electricians, plumbers, you name it.
So it's stimulating the economy in multiple ways.
Exactly. And a stable housing market, it just makes it easier for people to plan for the future.
Yeah, peace of mind, right?
Absolutely. Knowing that their investment is likely to, hold its value.
Right. And those lower interest rates and reduced fees.
Yeah.
That could be huge for those who, thought owning a home was just impossible.
Exactly. It could open up a lot of doors.
So potentially, it's a win-win.
Potentially.
A boost for the economy and a brighter future for people in Thailand.
It sounds promising.
It does, but...
It gotta be realistic.
Yeah.
Real estate is complex.
It is.
There are always, multiple factors at play.
Right.
Predicting the future is, impossible.
That's true for everything, though, right?
True, but it's especially true with something as big as real estate.
I hear you. But, hey, even if we can't predict the future with 100% certainty, just understanding these policies and their potential impact, that's a great starting point.
Absolutely. It gives us a framework for analyzing what might happen.
Okay, so we've got the framework.
We do.
What's next?
Well, this leads to another really important question.
Okay, hit me with it.
Will these measures truly benefit everyone equally?
That's a big one.
Right. Will those lower income citizens?
The ones the government's trying to help.
Exactly. Will they actually reap the rewards? Or could we see a scenario where most of the benefits end up going to developers?
On higher income earners.
Right. Those who already have a leg up.
It's a tough question.
It is. And it's one that we need to think about carefully.
It's like we said, real estate is complex.
Absolutely. There's always more to consider.
So many factors.
Exactly.
Okay, so will these measures help everyone equally?
Big question.
Big question.
And one that doesn't have an easy answer.
Right. It'll be interesting to see how this all plays out.
For sure, the coming months and years will tell.
It's like watching an experiment unfold in real time.
It really is. You never know what's going to happen.
And speaking of things unfolding, that massive housing expo.
Oh, yeah, the one we talked about.
It's going to be interesting to see how much activity it generates.
Yeah, right. How many people show up? What kind of deals are being made?
Could be a sign of things to come.
Potentially, it could give us some clues.
About how the market is responding.
Exactly.
So to recap, We started with a picture of Thailand's real estate market.
Kind of sluggish.
Yeah. But then we saw all these government efforts to revitalize it.
Loans, fees, tax breaks, the expo.
The whole shebang.
And then we explored the potential long-term benefits.
Stability, sustainability, more opportunities for homeownership.
And a boost for the overall Thai economy.
But of course, there are still those lingering questions.
Oh.
Will these measures live up to the hype?
Yeah, will they really benefit the people who need it most?
And will they attract foreign investors without, pricing out local ties?
That's the balancing act.
It's a lot to consider.
Yeah, for sure.
This is a story we're going to have to keep following.
Absolutely. Things could change quickly.
Well said. So for our listeners who are interested in the Thai real estate market,
whether you're an investor or just fascinated by what's happening over there,
yeah, you should definitely stay tuned.
Do your research, keep an eye on the news.
And, maybe even check out that housing expo online.
There's a lot to learn.
Okay, but before we get too carried away,
yeah,
let's wrap things up with a final thought-provoking question for our listeners.
I like it.
We've talked about how these policies could help get Thailand's real estate market moving again.
Yeah, and how it could, benefit people living there.
Right. But here's something else to think about. With all these incentives, all these, changes,
yeah,
could this make Thailand even more attractive to foreign investors?
That's a good question.
Right.
It's definitely something that's on people's minds.
I mean, we know foreign investors have been interested in Thai real estate for a while now.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
So could these new policies be like the tipping point?
The thing that pushes them over the edge.
Exactly.
It's possible.
But is that a good thing?
Well, it's complicated.
Okay, so break it down for me.
On the one hand, foreign investment can be great for the economy.
Right. Brings in money, creates jobs.
Exactly. But on the other hand, if too many foreign investors come in all at once,
what happens?
it can drive prices up.
Makes sense. More demand, higher prices.
It can make it harder for, local Thais to afford homes.
So it's a balancing act.
It always is.
You want the investment, but you don't want to price out your own citizens.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's a tough situation.
It is. It really is.
Thailand wants to revitalize their market, but they also want to make sure it remains accessible to, their own people.
It's a dilemma.
It is, and it's one that a lot of countries face.
Trying to find that sweet spot.
Right, where everyone benefits.
And that's what makes this whole situation so interesting.
I agree. It's a real-world example of how economics and social issues are all intertwined.
It's not just about numbers.
No, it's about people's lives.
Exactly. So for our listeners out there, if you're interested in Thai real estate,
whether you're thinking about investing or just curious about what's happening,
this is a story worth following.
Absolutely keep an eye on it.
Do your research, stay informed.
And, maybe even check out that housing expo we talked about.
Oh, yeah. Good idea.
See what kind of deals are being offered, who's buying, who's selling.
You never know what you might learn.
It's fascinating stuff.
It is. Well, on that note, I think we've reached the end of our deep dive into Thailand's real estate.
Time flies when you're having fun.
It really does. We hope you enjoyed the journey with us.
We had a blast.
And until next time,
stay curious.